He was a number one Keller Williams agent worldwide, 7 years consecutive. He was number one agent in Northern California with over 7,000 homes sold. And today he's going to talk to you about social media hook problem solution. Tom, I'm going to let you take the floor. I know you got some slides for us. I'm really excited to see what you got for us.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Great to see y'all. I'm so excited. And just a little bit of backstory. Pretty much born and raised in Northern California. I live in Auburn, California, which is close to Lake Tahoe. There's Lake Tahoe behind me right now, right? Anyway, so I love all the outdoors, hiking, biking, golfing, and skiing. And I'm married with 3 kids, and I got into real estate over 35 years ago. And my favorite saying is from Wayne Gretzky: you've got to skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it is now. I'm sure you've all heard that. So whether it was traditional real estate or REOs, I was selling 400 or 500 homes a year, multiple year after year, or I hooked up with Blackstone and BlackRock Private Equity, sold them 600 homes in a year. And as Nick mentioned, I was at KW for 19 years. 7 of those, I was honored to be #1 top agent worldwide. And 3 years ago, I moved over to EXP. And I just love the change. I love, 4 main things I just love, about EXP. #1 is just all of the collaboration that we have with this company, where we can go on Zoom meetings and events and collaborate. And, Jim Rohn says you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend most time with. So, so I made the move. I'm super excited to be here today. So I'd like to just go ahead and jump right into our content, and I can share with all you guys here at the end, share this with you. I'm going to chat a little bit about social media and talk about skate to where the puck is going to be. Social media is definitely where the puck is going to be and where it's going to continue to be. And we'll also talk just a little bit about AI as well. So can you guys see the social media screen here? Did we share that okay?
Yep.
Okay, and so let's go ahead and jump to the next slide, and we'll talk just a little bit about what's trending, and it's always important to identify what is trending. And obviously, millennials, 75% of our workforce by 2025 will be millennials. 80% of the content they will consume is from social media. And then 37% millennials, their largest audience on social media, making up 37% of all users. So I'm probably not telling you anything that you don't know, but we need to identify what our market is and how we can make a difference and how we can serve the millennials and how we can serve those clients. Okay, next slide. Okay, so again, millennials, right now, millennials, I always say, you know what, they finally decided to quit going out to the clubs and partying. They decided to settle down, have a family, and buy a house, right? So, they're starting families, and, a lot of them, they're nervous about buying a home because they did see their market, the market crash with their parents. And so it's super important to educate them with the process. And I'll share with you how we do that. And I love the approach, the hook, the problem, and then the solution. Because we only have just 3.8 seconds to capture a person's interest, then we need to really have a hook. And then we need to ask them a question about the problem, how we can serve them. And then we need to quickly address the benefit. So I work a lot with sellers. I'm primarily a listing agent. And being a listing agent, we really need to create a hook with the sellers. And we need, because they're looking through their phone, and I know that you've only got 3.8 seconds, so they're looking through your website and, one hook right now is instant offer. Hey, we can provide an instant offer on your home. So we're using a lot of different tools for that. As well as, we also have, we are a seller's advocate. And I always believe that you need to really be an advocate for the sellers and go to them with different options, whether it's an instant offer or whether if they need repairs on their home. We have contractors that will go in, do all the repairs on their home and get paid out of the close of escrow. So that's called the fix and flip program, which is amazing. There's Curbio and a couple of other different companies that we utilize for that. There's buy before you sell. There's sell before you buy. So always need to offer options, and you need to really create that hook with the options with the sellers. And then with the buyers, obviously you really need to create a hook with them. If you do have a listing, I always recommend to put a great caption and put a great question. Obviously you have to have amazing photos. Please don't go out and use your iPhone to take photos on any of your listings. You've got to nail it with your photos, with the drone, the photos, the videos, because again, you've only got about 3 seconds to capture their interest. So these are a couple of examples. Hey, this is one strategy that will save you thousands when buying your first home. That's a great hook. Or did you know that you could buy a home with no money down? Here's how. Another one is want to know the number one regret that people have when buying their first home. So it's always great to ask questions. What's the biggest mistake first-time home buyers make when they purchase a home? So it's always great to ask thought-provoking questions. Don't just post, hey, I just listed 123 Main Street. Do you want to take a look at it and have these photos? Or even when you sell a home, hey, I just sold this home for Susie and Ed James, and out there with a photo with them with the sold sign. Woohoo! I mean, if I see one more of those, I think I'm probably gonna throw up. Post something that is unique and something that will tie to their emotions, because facts will make you think, emotions will make you act. Tell a little bit of a story about, hey, you know what, and have your, Ed Smith would like to share a quick story. Yeah, I used Tom Daves, and he brought in, we had a problem with some dry rot on our eaves, and he brought in a crew. They got that taken care of, and here it is right here, and we got the escrow code. So tell a little bit of a story. Again, facts tell, stories sell. You have to tie into the emotions. This is the largest. If you all could mute out, that'd be great. We'll save questions to the end. Because I advertise a lot on the TV and the radio, I use endorsements. I use Barbara Corcoran. I use Glenn Beck. I use Gary LaVox. I use Clay and Buck. I've used Mike and Mike before. That's always, just to be honest, that's been easier for me than to have them endorse me, than for me to get on the radio. Hey, I'm the best guy there is. I'm number one, right? We all kind of get tired of that. But if you can have an endorsement from a well-respected and trusted professional, or someone that's very famous, then that's, hey, and if I were to sell, if you have Barbara Corcoran from the Shark Tank saying, hey, and if I were to sell my home, I would use Tom Daves. It makes a big difference. Okay, so let's jump to the next slide here. Okay, so right now, let's face it, there's a lot of fears out there. There is a lot of uncertainty. A lot of the buyers are afraid. A lot of the sellers are afraid. We've got the recession, we've got inflation, we've got interest rates went up super fast. And quite honestly, the buyers and sellers, actually, especially the sellers, they've been spoiled over the last couple of years. You go out to list a home and the ink is still wet, and you get 12 offers on it, right? It's been pretty easy. And to be honest, it's been easy for a lot of us real estate agents. It was not quite as much as a skill-based market. Right now, it's a skill-based market. We have to have the skills and we have to use the tools with social media to provide a value and really help them through their fears and through all of the uncertainty. And we have to ask them questions once we've done that hook, and once we're connecting with them, we have to find out what the problem is. We have to really, create that relationship, and we really need to ask what their fears are, what their concerns are. Well, I'm going to wait for prices to come back up, they say, or hey, I'm going to wait for interest rates to come down. Don't just have a reflex no. Oh, okay, then can I call you back in 2 months? No, you need to push through that. Well, tell me more about that. And then they'll unpack it. And then, great. So what's your end goal? Where would you like to be? Well, we'd like to move to Walla Walla, Washington, or to Nashville, Tennessee, or something like that. What's important about that? Well, all my grandkids are there. So you can keep that in the back of your bonnet, because that's an emotional tie that's going to help you move them forward when the right time is. And I always like to use the 4 pillars of any type of an objection. The 4 pillars to handling any type of an objection. Number 1 is to agree. Well, hey, we want to wait until prices go back up. Okay, man. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, you want to wait until. So number 1 is agree with them. And then number 2 is isolate. You want to isolate that. So is there anything else other than you wanting to wait prices to go up to keep you from moving forward to working with us? Isolate it. And then number 3 is handle the problem or handle the solution. And then number 4 is close. So back to the slide, of course, understand the audience, and people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Really, really ask great questions. You should only be talking 20% of the time. They should be talking 80% of the time. Point out struggles that others have faced, getting back to stories. If they say, man, I want to wait till prices, go back up. Oh man, I totally get it. I understand. Is there, other than wanting to wait until price go, is there anything else? No, that's it. Okay, well, you know what? It's really interesting because we just helped Kevin Hood and his family 2 months ago, and they were in the same situation. They really wanted to wait until prices went up, but we were able to put their home on the market, get top dollar, and get them moved to Walla Walla, Washington, so they could move on with their life. And isn't that what you want to do, is move on with your life? So tell stories about others, point out struggles, and then relate to them that others have had similar questions. Okay, next slide. Okay, and then again, explain how you can solve their problem. All of your energy and passion for solving your problem and messaging. You're their advocate. You're going to do whatever it takes to help them, whether it's to buy a home or to sell a home. And again, share a short story. So with buyers, I always recommend, open houses are huge right now. I'd like to talk just a little bit about lead generation. Because the market has shifted and because we're in a skill-based market, we have to double down on lead generation. There's really 5 things in our job description. Number 1 is lead generation. Number 2 is lead follow-up. Number 3 is going on a setting and going on appointments. Number 4 is writing contracts. And then number 5 is practice. And we have to do those things consistently. And right now in this changing market, I think we need to double down on all of our activities as well as our social media. And one of the best things right now is open house. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar or doing opens. An open house, it's not only what you do at the open, but it's what you do before. A lot of social media, a lot of posts, do some videos, really get things going out there to really create the activity. We like short open houses for like 2 hours. So you have maximum people, they're coming through, they're bumping elbows. So when they come through, you know what your number one goal is? Number one goal at an open house is to book one rock solid appointment. That's all you need to do. Just think about rock solid appointment. And you need to lock in with one client. When they come in, what we do is let them go through the house. Hey, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then when they come back, so would you like to buy the home? What? Yeah, so let me just ask you, thanks for looking at the home. Would you like to buy this home? Would you like to make an offer on it? I mean, you need to differentiate, you need to be bold, and you need to ask them if they want to buy that home. And then they're probably going to say, no, well, what would it take for you to buy the home? Oh, we're looking for a 4-bedroom. Okay, great. Well, it sounds like we need to set a time so we can get together and map out a strategy. Have a strategy session. You hear those words, strategy session? You don't want to say buyer consultation. You want to use a strategy session so we can map out a plan. That word it's called a schema, where 1 or 2 short words has multiple meanings. So when I say strategy session and when I say map out a plan, your mind goes in multiple different areas. So let's let's get together, map out a plan, strategy session, so we can help you find a 4-bedroom. Are weekdays or weekends better? And they say, oh, no, well, you know, we're working with a realtor. Well, great. Okay. Are you happy with the level of service that you're getting? Oh, yeah, we're happy. Well, let me ask you this. Is he just showing you things online? Or is he and through the multiple listing and other online, or is he also showing you properties that are not yet listed? Oh, no, it's just online. Well, if we could find you a home that's not yet listed to get you the best price and the best deal, would you be open to meeting with us so we can map out a strategy session to find you that 4-bedroom home? So you want to book an appointment at that open house. Went down a little bit of a rabbit trail there. Once you book that appointment, there's really 4 goals to meeting with them for that strategy session. Number 1, needs analysis. Find out what they're looking for. Ask them, you know, how you can serve them, what they're looking for, you know. And then number 2 is to unique value proposition. You know, we have a buyer plan of action, which is our value proposition, where we can really help them find a home that's not yet listed. And I'm sure you all have resources to do that. And then number 3 is to identify the contract, you know, have them sign that contract, just a simple, you know, buyer agreement. And then number 4 is to go over expectations. So let's go ahead and jump over to, we talked a little bit about the solution. Let's look at the next slide. Okay, so anything you do, especially on social media, number 1 is you've got to be consistent. I see so many agents and so many people, and I see people at the gym, you know, they show up New Year's Day, they've got their resolution, New Year's resolution, and then they're just not consistent. So number 1, you've got to be consistent. I have an accountability partner, Steve McCarthy. Every morning I text him what 5 things I'm going to do. I've got my power list every morning. And one of those is to post the social media video every day. And if I don't do it, it's going to be burpees. I hate burpees. So be consistent. Every single day, post something. I do it 5 days a week. Some people do it 7. Just be consistent. Number 2, don't overthink it. A lot of times it's the simplest, easiest thing that you can think of that is going to get the most engagement. In fact, about a month ago, I was on my way home, and I was going to stop by a deli restaurant to pick up chicken pot pie. How many of you guys like chicken pot pie? You guys like chicken pot pie? So, and I didn't post a video yet. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a quick video of me at Iketa's Deli getting a chicken pot pie, and I put it in the basket, and I had a bottle of Rombauer wine there. too. And it was just like a 12-second video. I put on my story and then I did a reel and it went out to Facebook and Instagram. And oh my gosh, I got more engagement on that chicken pot pie than I had all month on anything else. So really mix it up, okay? Don't overthink it. And once you do show the video, I know Nick always says this, don't watch it, just post it, right? Don't freaking watch it. Just push it back out there no matter what, because otherwise you're going to do it over and over and over. People like imperfection. It makes it real and it makes it transparent and it makes it more, more people will watch it. So, and then number 3 is mix up your content with business, personal, and inspirational. So yeah, one day, post something for business, whether it's for your, to get more listings or to work with buyers, some information about, hey, here's our market update. Show them some stats, what the market is doing, because there's all of this news and media out there. And I always say that a lot of the media does more to terrify than it does to clarify. So in order to clarify, you need to show them stats, show them the market trends in the area, what's happening, how many listings, how many solds, and always compare that to last year or compare that to a previous time frame, last month. If you just throw out a number, yeah, this month we had 322 listings and, we had 288 pendings. People don't have a referencing point. Always tie it to, compared to, or give them a reference point. So with your business, buyers, give them information about maybe a buy down product out there right now, or what interest rates you're doing. Give them information about market updates, personal, whatever. I do a lot of workouts. I do these crazy workouts. I've got an endo board. I do the cold plunge in the morning. I do helicopter snow skiing. I do barefoot water skiing. I just do all these crazy stuff, man. I did one a couple of weeks ago, just doing the cold plunge in the morning, and it's cold right now. So do some personal, your family. People love, videos with your family or whatever. And it doesn't have to all be all this perfect family, I'm a Christian. We go to church. Occasionally I do one on Sunday and just sharing a message that we had. So keep it personal, keep it real, and then also inspirational. There's really 4 keys to succeed in life and in business. Number 1 is mindset. We have to think big, growth-minded, positive mindset with inspiration. I'm constantly reading and watching videos. Here's one thing that I learned this morning is people skills are more important than technical skills. So people skills are more important than technical skills. Right now, we need to have relationships. Yes, social media is great, but it's the hook to create that relationship. And it doesn't matter if you know every single script in the book verbatim, but if you don't have those people skills, it's not going to do squat, right? So, have some inspirational, hey, I just heard that this morning, and then I would pop that on there. So we're at number 4, definitely have fun. Life is too freaking short to not have fun. I mean, I remember when I saw Nick, and I think we were it's so funny because ever since COVID, you're meeting with people on Zoom like twice a week or whatever. You feel like you really, really know them. And then it was the first time that I met him. I'm like, Nick, what's happening, man? I gave him a big old headlock. We shot a video and he's taller than you think, though. I know
everybody says that. I don't know what it is. Everybody thinks I'm short. It's funny you said
that. I know, yeah. So just have fun with it. You got to laugh every day. So again, Facebook, Instagram stories are really trending right now. Those are just super short clips. And then those will go from, you can tie them to go from Instagram to Facebook or Facebook to Instagram immediately. Put it into the reel. Reel is huge right now. Tie in, a lot of longer videos. Just keep track of what's trending. Okay, next slide. Okay, so right now, here's some helpful tools. Success leaves clues. A lot of people go, man, Tom, how come you're so successful? How come you have such great marketing? Well, my marketing strategy is R&D marketing, rip off and duplicate, right? I just see something I like, and then I go collaborate with others worldwide, internationally, see what they're doing, and then I just rip off and duplicate. I think that's one of the best compliments you can give someone. So there's some really cool tools. CapCut, that's just a free editing software for smartphones. You can build templates and really make some really cool videos. And then Pixels and Upsplash, both those websites, I mean, they offer free stock that you can use for your social media. This stuff's free and it's easy. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, is talk about where the puck is going to be. I mean, dang, it's just so crazy how AI is going to be taking things over. AI, so there's Chat GPT, and there's also OpenAI. Go ahead and check those out. That's great for content creation. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then there's Canva. Canva is just an online graphic design. So we'll jump into that. Let's look at the next slide. Okay, so let's talk real quick about AI and social media, because we need that to create that hook, solve the problem, and then create a difference. Okay, next slide. Okay, so Chat GPT, y'all probably know what that is, but it's just, it's an optimizing language model for a dialogue. And so it's kind of cool. We actually just asked Chat GPT what it does. So let's look at the next slide. So we opened Chat GPT and we asked it, okay, what is Chat GPT? Well, hey, I am Chat GPT. I'm a language model developed OpenAI. It's trained on large data text, and it allows to understand and generate natural language responses and think for other people and tell you what they're thinking and prompting and questions. So let's go to the next slide, and I'll share with you how you can utilize it and how you can leverage for everything, whether you're just typing up in your multiple listing, hey, we just listed this property, and give some basics. What are some good comments that would tweak some interest with some buyers? So Chat, it's a great personal assistant. Think of it kind of like Google. You can ask it questions and actually continue the conversation. I mean, have you ever been kind of worried about, oh man, what am I going to post? And who's going to be watching this? So it just creates blogs you can put on your website, ad copy, so much more. You can even ask it to write copy in different styles, different languages, depending on your audience. Okay, next slide. So here's the prompt that we typed in. Okay, write a compelling title for a Facebook ad for millennials thinking about buying a home, but have some concerns. So what did it tell us that we should say? It said, unlocking the door to your dream home, addressing millennial concerns about home ownership. So we posted that. We got great response. Okay, here's another example. Here's a blog post. Please write a 500-word blog post about real estate SEO keywords that I can post on my website. Here's what it said. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says, it gave you an answer. This is what they're looking for. Number 1, determine your budget. Number 2, get pre-approved. Number 3, number 4, boom. Even preparing for this Zoom meeting today, I went to AI to come up with some cool things to tell you guys. Okay. Next slide. All right, a video script. Write a 60-second script. Here's what it said. Opening slot of a beautiful exterior home. Are you tired of endlessly scrolling through online listings to search for your home? I'm not going to read them all, but we'll post this out for you guys to get an idea of this. But make it fun. Do your own. Okay, next. An email campaign. Write an email campaign. So and then it'll write an email campaign for you. So it's pretty cool what it can do. Okay, next slide. So, yeah, if you ever have any questions to reach out, you can go to Instagram, Facebook, Tom Dave. So I hope that was helpful for all of you guys. You know, we of course need to, in this ever-changing market right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. And if we can create that hook to connect with the people, you know, our clients, buyers, sellers, our database, so we can provide that certainty and solve the problem, we're going to help them acquire and, you know, reach the American dream to either buy a home or sell a home. So Nick, how are we doing on time? Do we have any questions? Where we'd like to go from here? How'd I do?
You did fantastic, man. I want to thank you again for coming and adding value to everybody here. And I just want to touch on a couple key points that I picked up from this as well. Something you said too about having an accountability partner for videos. You know, something we did for 30 days is everybody agreed to pay $500 to your number one enemy in the business. You know, that one agent that you guys just don't get along. So if you missed one of the days, we had to pay that agent $500. And I'll tell you what, there were some days I didn't want to do a video, but I sure as hell wasn't going to pay that person $500 because I wasn't going to do a video. You know, just figuring out ways to make it fun. Something else you said too is making sure we tell a story and we relate it back to what we're actually doing as agents. You know, one of the biggest takeaways I got from sitting down with a rep at Zillow was really understanding how the model works. Like you were saying, Tom, not just posting a picture of a home just listed and the next week just sold, and all we put are the specs on the post. Why? Because we're training people that the home is the most important part of the deal. Think about Zillow and Realtors.com's business model. Go to the website, find a home, and pick a realtor out of a hat. And we're training people to do the same things. Instead, every time you help somebody move into a home, stand in front of the home and tell people what you actually did to get the buyer in the house. Late nights being on phone calls, calling multiple people, going to multiple homes. We have to articulate our value as real estate agents. We always say value unarticulated is value unappreciated. Why don't a lot of people respect real estate agents? Because we don't properly portray what we do. So those were some of my biggest takeaways from the call. And what we're going to do is open it up to the questions that we have here. I'll go ahead and read them all for you here, Tom.
Okay. And I've got my tech guy here, so he may need to help me out a little bit. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So what have you got? I've got about 5 more minutes here. So let's hit a couple of them and then I've got to roll. Sorry.
We had a question about, are you posting these on your business page or your personal page?
We do both. Probably 75% is personal, but it is important to have that business page as well. What's nice about the business page is you can pay and you can go ahead and boost it and post it and pay money to get it out even more.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend if you're going to post it to just one, your personal page, unless you boost it, right? And sometimes we got to get out of our own head of thinking that everybody who saw the video on my personal page will see it on my business page.
One other thing real quick is you don't want to post and ghost. So post and ghost is just what it sounds like. It's where you post something and then you ghost it. You don't respond to anyone. If anybody has comments, you don't really like their comments, you respond. You need to post and then you need to engage. You can't post and ghost. Okay, next question.
Right. Let's get another one in. What were the 4 keys to success again?
Okay, so the 4 keys to success. Number 1 is mindset. Think big, growth-minded mindset, constantly learning and growing. Number 2 is how you spend your time. Extremely disciplined, doing the right things in the right order. Like I mentioned before, the job description of a real estate agent. And then number 3 is who you spend your time with. Like I said, collaborate, connect with big people, get in the room with big people. Jim Rohn says, you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend most time with. Push yourself. And then the last one is just take massive focused action. So number 1 is mindset. Number 2 is how you spend your time. Number 3 is who you spend your time with. And then number 4 is take massive focused action. Thanks for asking that, because I don't think I finished with those.
Now, let's get one more question in here. Any tips to convert from social to hot lead?
So from social to a hot lead. So the fortune is in the follow-up. Lead generation is for tomorrow's business. Lead follow-up is for today's business. So once you've lead generated and then you're following up, then once you've connected with them, match energy with energy. I mean, if they, if they're on your messenger, then connect with them on messenger and speak their language. If they text, then text, and then shoot a video for them. Hey, you know what? Hey, Nick, I was just thinking about you, and I just saw this amazing property out here, and give me a call, shoot a video. So something a little bit different and unique, and then just see if you can connect with them to have that conversation so you can map out a strategy session. One thing I was going to mention about, and then track your numbers. A year ago, we found it would take 10 contacts to book one appointment. Now, because the market has changed, it takes 20 contacts to book one appointment. So whether it's a contact on social or messenger or text or calling, it takes twice as many to do it because the market has changed. So we just need to double down and connect with others so we can get, book an appointment. So we're eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button, face to face. So we can help them and serve them. So, well, cool. Hey, well, I hope this was helpful. Thank you all. If you have any questions, reach out, tomdaves.com or Facebook, Tom Daves. So, hey, Nick, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Tom. And guys, remember, if you want the recording, the slides, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you. Tom, you can go ahead and take off. I know you got something right after this. And guys, if you want to stick around and get some more of your questions answered, I'd be happy to offer that feedback as well. And there was something that somebody brought up here, the mix of post reels and stories versus paid advertising. I think it's just really important to understand the difference between the two. They don't accomplish the same thing. Paid advertising is marketing, and it's solely based on the market. Has anybody here ever been sent a lead after you stopped paying for advertising? No, they cut you off right away, right? Posting on reels, your page and everything like that, that's building your brand. When you build your brand, you build your own economy. Those videos continue to last and people can go back to your page and see the brand and feel it. So they're distinct two different things. Marketing is for leads right now. When you post on your page and you post on the stories and your reels, that's how you build your brand. Does that make sense, guys? Guys, feel free to, Saros, can we let them unmute? Get some more people talking on here. Guys, at this point, it is open discussion. And especially to be consistent with videos. I'll tell you what, we were able to build our business into 13 countries in all 50 states in less than 2 years using organic video. And one of the most powerful ones still to this day is a video interview. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes going live and doing videos by yourself can be a little bit scary or intimidating. But going live with mortgage loan officers, going live with other agents, it's a great way to take the load off of you and also tag other people and grow your audience. So Richard, why don't you go ahead and unmute and ask your question here? You want to elaborate on that a little bit? Richard Ramsey. All right, so you said better to post video as a post or as a story or reel? All of them. Make one video as a story. You can break it down into 10-second clips for the story. Then you can break it down 60-second clips for the post. That's one thing that we do. We go live and the video might be 5 or 10 minutes long. And then it's broken down into 60-second clips and then posted as a reel. And then broken down into 10-second clips and posted as a story. Sometimes we have to get out of our own way and start repurposing the content that we shoot.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
So I've been doing video marketing for about a year now, and I've had a little bit of success with it, but I'm curious because I feel like you have a really great traction and have been able to generate a lot of business from it. Can you tell me, like, when people reach out to you and they've seen you online somewhere, like what you're hearing from them. Are they connecting with you as a person? Are they connecting with like the information that you've shared? Like, what are you hearing? And what do you recommend should we be really focusing on like telling the story of us, or should we also be providing information, or is it a combination?
That is a great question. And I'm glad you asked it. You know, something that we talk about too is sometimes we'll post about our story, why we got into real estate and who we are one time. And we feel like I already told that story. We have to post about our story, the same story, and how we got into real estate, how we came to be a top producer, or where you're at in real estate now, over and over and over again. And a lot of times what ends up happening is people are attracted to the brand. And when they're ready or they hear a specific message, they reach out. But because we've been posting so much and they're connected to our brand, it was funny. There was this one company, our first business was called Content Cards. It was a digital business card with links and videos on it. We actually started it right before COVID, which worked out well for us. But what ended up happening is there was another company that literally duplicated everything that we had and started running ads to basically our entire audience. It's kind of funny how it worked. But people saw his ads and ended up calling us because they're like, oh man, that was a great ad. And they wanted a digital business card and they instantly thought of us. So that's why sometimes making sure that you continue to post and grow your brand is really important. It takes time and it takes consistency. If you do marketing and paid ads, you might get some more traction right away. Everybody wants a big brand, but it takes a lot of time to build it.
Thank you.
That's a really good question. And that's a really big takeaway. You can never post about your story too much. I remember one time I went live 7 times in one day and did 7 interviews. And someone who's a really good friend of mine comments on all my posts. Based on the algorithm, you'd think he'd at least see one of them. So he called me and he started asking about other things. I'm like, wait, you're not calling and asking about how many videos I did? He's like, no, dude, I didn't even see one of them. I'm like, at first my ego took a hit. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't see one of them? Then I realized, holy crap, you didn't even see one of them. How many people out there? I thought everybody saw all 7 on my timeline. But there are so many people out of all my friends that didn't even see one of them. Let's see, guys, what questions do you have? Feel free to unmute.
Hey, Nick. This is
what's up,
Sally.
Yeah.
I just quick question, Bakesy. Is a story 10 seconds and a reel 60 seconds?
It depends on what platform with like Reels, TikTok and the other ones now, but yeah, generally it's 60 seconds for Reels and 10 seconds for stories.
Okay, thanks.
And I will say this, guys, I know it goes a little bit against what you guys are hearing, but I believe if a real estate agent has a video editing app on their phone or computer, you're doing something wrong. You guys get paid to go out there and list and sell homes. If you have enough time to sit there and mess with those apps, we could be taking more action on making calls, getting in front of more people. By that time, if you guys are taking that much action, you'll be able to hire someone to do your videos, hire someone to go do that for you. You know, another big takeaway that we got working with a lot of different clients is understanding the difference between ego and your brand, right? Our brand should represent who we really are. I don't know about you guys, I'm not perfect. I don't believe anybody is. So when we edit the videos and take out all the mistakes that we had, that's our ego speaking to us. When in reality, those little nuggets of you messing up, your dog barking in the background, are the reasons why some people might want to work with you, are the reasons people will remember the videos. All those little things that we want to edit out are what represent us and our brand. What's up, Jason?
Hey, I wanted to go back to what you said a second ago about how our when we post and we think everyone's seeing it, but they're not. Is there a way around that? What's the cheat code for that to get our videos out to more people and get around those algorithms?
No, that's a great question. And I want to just elaborate a little bit more on what I said. It's more so of there's literally millions of hours worth of content posted every single day. So the best way to do it is being consistent. That is the #1 way to make sure that you get in front of more people. The algorithm on every platform rewards people who are consistent. So I'd say consistency is a big part of it. Making sure, like Tom said, you comment and reply to other individuals as well. I would say consistency, and I do a lot of interviews. I'm always making sure I tag other people in it. And one of the biggest ways, especially on Facebook and Instagram, is going live. Because when you go live, everybody on your friends gets a notification. Great tool to go live, guys, is StreamYard.com. StreamYard allows you to go live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the same time. Then you could have your graphics on the screen while you're live. And you can even play an intro video while you're live. So by the end of it, you can have a professionally edited video done for you live on 3 platforms and ready to go. Does that kind of help answer your question, Jason?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Let's see. I want to hear more people here. Let's see. Terry, you want to unmute and go ahead and ask your question. Maybe not. So Terry asks, how do you get more people to see your videos? Well, we just answered it. Yeah, you're right. Do stories and reels only ever get in front of your Facebook friends? So reels are interesting. Reels get in front of everybody, right? So reels, it has a larger audience. Stories are more so just your friends. Great question. And I'll tell you what, guys, like Tom was saying too, don't be afraid to just rip off and duplicate other videos. There's nothing saying that you can't do it. There are a lot of videos out there that are just working great and posting well, and a lot of people are responding. I can't tell you how many times I see people use that. What's that one? He's an African kid and he sings the song. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah. Have you guys heard that one? It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah. Nope. All right. I guess I'm the only one here. Let's go to Jamie. Jamie, what do you got for us?
Yeah, good morning. One thing I would think that we should always remember, I'm brand new, Dallas, Fort Worth area, getting ready to sit for my licensing exam, going to school at UNT. And one thing I've been focusing on is
tracks your 2 key for
getting my professional LinkedIn and social media accounts to mirror each other. So when I present something, it's across all the platforms and all my contact information is the same, email, phone number, all my professional data, and it's all together. I'm working with a LinkedIn professional to actually help me get that all locked in. And I just think that that's something. I'm 20-year retired Army, so I'm not a young kid starting out in real estate or going to college. You know, I'm an old soldier, old sergeant, and I want to do it right the first time. And so I go to the professionals and have them sit down and tell me what should I be doing, and then how do I get this across all my platforms?
You know, Jamie, that's a really good point. And you know, this also comes down, a lot of people have the question of, you know, is the brand your name or is it a catchy team name? I believe it should always be your name across every platform, making sure your username is the same on each. And beyond that too, I don't know about you guys, but there's always the possibility of changing teams, changing logos, changing colors, changing brokerages. But one thing that doesn't change is your name. So no matter where you go, you can bring that name with you. And also, if people are Googling you and looking you up, it's got to be something that they can find. So here's something I want everybody here to do. I want everybody to bring out their phones, open up the Facebook app, and go to your profile. Let's see, there we go. We got some heads going down. I want you guys to ask yourself one simple question. Solely based on the videos and the content posted on your page, nothing else, would you hire you? Solely based on what you see, but what you see in front of you. Guys, this is our social resume. This is how people are hiring real estate agents nowadays. Tom was just talking about millennials. People go to Facebook to look up people. If you're looking up a business, more people go to Google. But to look up people, that's where they go on Facebook. Let's see. Who are you hiring to make the most of your time? Well, we do it. So we do that for ourselves and other agents as well. And I can also give you other recommendations too there. Can you repeat the answer about your videos? How long? Nadia, that is a great question. You know, these are the questions that come up the most. How long the video should be, what time to post, and how long, what time to post, and how many. How long, guys, these are little things that stop us from posting, and especially stop us from posting more, right? Has anybody here seen the movie Endgame? Let me see some hands. There we go. I saw some hands go up. So the movie Endgame was about 3 hours long. And I'll tell you what, I never saw anybody get up out of the theater and say, you know what, that movie's too long. Why? Because it was entertaining. It's the same thing with videos on social media. If your video is entertaining and engaging, it doesn't really matter how long it is. So a little trick that I figured out with all the algorithms, because I don't know about you, when I was trying to keep up with all the algorithms changing, now you got to like something, now you got to heart it, you got to get YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and they're all changing. But there's one thing that's consistent. All of these platforms are paid when people stay on their platform and they can run ads to them. That's why they're all free. They are paid when more people stay on their platform. So if your video keeps people on their platform, they're going to put it at the top. Doesn't matter how long it is. As long as it's engaging and you're keeping people on their platform, that's what matters. So, I know a lot of times when we're trying to make sure they're telling us it's 3 minutes you got to get to now. So we're trying to write a script that's 3 minutes long. And then we shoot it 5 times because the last video was 4.5 minutes. Maybe you go and edit it. And it's a lot of time that it takes instead of posting and taking action. It's the same thing with the time. I believe the only question we should ask is how many videos have we shot? And the answer is never enough. No, that's a great question, Nadia. Let's see. Tips to convert. We already got that. Guys, feel free to unmute and join me here. This is more so open forum and going over what we talked about.
Is there a best time to post?
Sally, great question. I really don't believe so. Because here's what, it's constantly changing. And if we keep asking what time to post, how long should it be, it's stopping us from taking action. If I post at 8 a.m., 12, 4, and midnight, and somebody posts at the best time, who's going to be winning? Right? The only question we should ask ourselves is how many videos are we posting? And the answer is never enough. All these little things with algorithms, I believe it's a way for people to sell courses, sell social media courses, and make it more difficult than it has to be. We have to remember, we get paid when we buy and sell homes or help people do it, not becoming social media experts. A big reason why we grew our company so fast is we called it the minimal effective dose. What's the smallest amount you guys need to know as real estate agents to be dangerous on it and go sell more homes? And also, I sent all my trainings to my grandma. She's about 78. So if she couldn't get past the trainings, I would go back and make it simpler. You're talking about, go ahead, yeah.
Hi, quick question. New agent, new market.
Yeah.
Haven't really done videos. So does it look crazy if all of a sudden I'm posting 5 videos a day out of nowhere, or go for it?
I think it looks crazy if you don't. Go for it. And especially as a new agent, new to the area, I would highly recommend doing interviews. Interview people in the area that have a large audience. A great video strategy is interviewing local business owners and giving away $100 gift card to one person who shares the video. Why? Because I guarantee there's no other agent doing that for the business owner. And who do the business owner know in the area? A lot of people. Also, you get a lot of shares in that audience as well, because the only people who will share the video are people who live nearby. So it's a way to get boosting to other people in the area and really gain exposure. If you guys don't have a large audience, go interview other people that do. That's what we figured out. We want to grow our business in Phoenix, and we're not the best at running ads. I don't like running ads. I think it's a whole different ballgame. But I was like, you know what? If we're not going to do that, I interviewed an agent who had a 900 agent brokerage. And wouldn't you know it? Our business blew up overnight because of it. So sometimes we have to get out of our own way and stop looking for the shiny object or this magic funnel that's going to make it all work, and do the work. Post the videos and get to work. If you're talking about multiple platforms, Constant Contact does a pretty good job. Yeah, no, there are a lot of places that will give you guys, it's like the static posts that are basically everyone can post the same one. I will say this, it's better than not doing anything, but me personally, I don't believe that helps you build a brand. Will it keep you in front of people? Yeah, but it's not personal. It's not who you are. Guys, what questions do you have? Feel free to unmute. We got 5 more minutes to get your questions answered.
Am I on? Can you hear me?
You are on, Richard.
Okay. You mentioned the $100 gift card giveaway idea. How do you make sure that, so that's kind of a very hyper local sort of thing, right? You said local business owner. So you
Right.
interview them, you take a video of it. How do you make sure that gets in front of the whole town, the biggest possible audience in order to, really make that worthwhile?
Yeah, that's a great question. Number one, what we do is you should email your entire database, past clients, current clients, leads, and nurtures. Email your entire database with $100 gift card to the local restaurant name, right? $100 gift card giveaway to local restaurant name. So
Mhm.
these are just simple ways that the video that we post on YouTube gets emailed to our entire database, or Facebook, it's emailed to our entire database, right? So that's one way to do it. Another great way to do it is just go to your friends and people in the area, share it to them in Messenger, and just let them know, like, hey, I'm giving away $100, but I can use your support in running this business. Don't be afraid to ask.
So so that video, are you sharing it as a story, as a reel? You mentioned YouTube, like how do you do your interview videos?
So we do our interviews on StreamYard.com. The reason being is on StreamYard.com, it goes to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the same time. And then you also can play an intro video while you're live and have your graphics on the screen while you're live. So instead of shooting a video, sending it to an editor, and it takes a couple weeks and then getting it back, you go live with almost a fully edited video on 3 different platforms. And
Gotcha.
as a bonus, what we do on StreamYard, you can download the audio. And then we upload it to a place called Buzzsprout.com. And then Buzzsprout has it linked on Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, on like 7 other platforms. So in a matter of 20 minutes, you could have a already edited video on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and then a podcast on about like 7 different platforms.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and then what we do from there is then we edit those videos and break them down into 1-minute clips, break them down into stories, and just keep recycling the content. What questions are you asking when you interview? That's a good question, solely because it really doesn't matter. And I say that because I just truly believe these are things that get in the way of posting more videos, posting more content. We're thinking about it the whole wrong way. What are the perfect questions? They don't exist. How long does it have to be? Doesn't matter. What time should I post? It really doesn't matter. The more action you take, the more your brand will grow, the more you'll get in front of people. Would you please post those websites? Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping this one up. Just a reminder, we do these masterminds every 2 Thursdays. So not next Thursday, the one after that. We constantly bring out more people from across the nation to come on here and strictly add value to you. As a reminder, if you want the recording or the slides, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you. They'll be able to get it for you. Guys, I appreciate you being on here. I'll stick around to answer some more questions. Another great question. And if not, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. What's up, Julie?
Best video ever, you as a flower boy.
You know, that was a good question. At my sister's wedding the night before, she's like, I really need you to do something for me. It's my sister's wedding. So I'm like, of course, anything. It's like, I need you to be the flower boy. The flower girl backed out. So that was a really good one. We'll go to that. You know, I kind of want to share something else here because I feel like more people heard this, but did not jump on. All right.
Tomorrow I may fall down on my face.
You're the only one.
So thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day.
Come on, somebody,
It's a
nobody.
beautiful day.
Oh, come on. All right, more questions. What equipment do you use? iPhone, camera, mics? So I just recommend getting started, pulling out your iPhone. Don't make it more difficult than it has to be. On top of that too, it's one of those, until you get a professional to do it for you, All of those things are stopping you from taking action to go out there and get more leads and close more deals. Right? So I recommend you staying in the seat of a real estate agent. And when you're ready, hire somebody else to figure that all out for you. Let's see. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly. That's a very good point. What do you guys charge to do video? Amy, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my email in here. You can ask me offline. I don't want to make this a selling prop for what we do. When you interview a local business, do you do it as Nick or Nick? So that is a great question. I would always do it as Nick. Like I always do it as Nick Krem and the realtor underneath. So the way we set everything up for our branding, our logos, the different shows that we do, everything is under the Nick Krem brand, nickkrem.com. And then we have different sub brands for what we do. So as a real estate agent, the realtor or the group that you're with is the sub brand. Your name should always be the most prevalent thing. Do you recommend reposting videos from a high-end real estate company that I'm a part of or making my own? I would recommend making your own, solely being because people connect with people. And if you're building a brand, it has to be about you. I love it. Rapid fire. So we can watch your videos and copy. Hell yeah, copy. And we do that for everybody. Every time we do something, we roll it out to everybody else. Because here's the thing. If I gave it to 10,000 agents across the country, what are the chances that they're in the same marketplace, they're same friends with people, the algorithm's showing it to them, right? Sometimes, again, we have to get out of our own way. Difference between ego and brand is us thinking everybody sees every post. All the things we're editing out of the video. We have to get out of our own way and understand we are the brand. So you can watch. Yeah, Amy, go ahead and copy. That's what we do. We made our format by watching ESPN and CNN, some of the most highest watched channels. Copied their format and brought it over here. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up for our time here today. Again, if you want the recording, the slides, or the downloadables, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.